Hello everyone. In this lecture we will discuss about op-amp circuits, that is the module 3 of basic electronics. Myself Deepashri AP. The next slide. So here the highlighted portions will be covered in this lecture. That is mainly introduction to op-amp and the op-amp parameters, op-amp modes and op-amp parameters will be discussed here. So what is an operational amplifier? So operational amplifier, they are called as one of the basic building block of analog electronic circuits, and it is a linear device that have all the properties required for nearly ideal DC amplification and therefore used extensively in signal conditioning, filtering, or to perform the mathematical operations like add, subtract, differentiation, integration, etc. An operational amplifier basically a three-terminal device. Here we can see this is the operational amplifier. It has three terminals, that is one is this input, two inputs and one outputs. This is inverting input, non-inverting input, and this is the output. And these inputs are of two inputs having high input impedance. These are marked as one is inverting, that is negative, non-inverting means it is positive, and this shows that symbol with the supply, so it needs plus Vc and minus Vc, two supply pins also. Now what is an ideal op-amp? Ideal op-amp means it follows, it is having some characteristics, that is it will be according to it will always we define all the electronics items or anything as ideal, and then how it works, that is practical. So here in ideal it will be having infinite differential voltage gain, common voltage gain will be 0, infinite bandwidth, and it has infinite input impedance, 0 output impedance, CMRR will be infinite, output 0 output voltage when input is 0. All these things we will discuss one by one. The input voltage Vin appears between the two input terminals, and the output voltage, see here Vin is given between two input terminals, and the output voltage is AV into Vin as indicated by the internal source voltage source symbol. The concept of infinite input impedance is, here we can see high input impedance, that is infinity, and low output impedance. So output impedance it is 0. So if Vin is given, then output will be AV, that is the gain. AV it is assumed as infinite in ideal case. So AV into Vin, that will be the output. Practical op-amp. Internal block diagram of op-amp. We can see in the next slide. It is made of three types of amplifier, that is a differential amplifier, a voltage amplifier, and a push-pull amplifier. The differential amplifier is the input stage of the op-amp. It provides amplification of difference voltage between two inputs. So differential amplifier amplifies the input it is at the input side. It provides the amplification, or it amplifies the difference voltage between two inputs. The second stage is usually a class A amplifier that provides additional gain. Second stage is class A amplifier which provides additional gain. Some op-amp may have more than one voltage gain amplifier. A push-pull or class B amplifier is typically used for the output stage. So in the output stage we will be having a push-pull amplifier or push-pull class B amplifier. So this is the block diagram. It input stage we can see a differential amplifier, then voltage amplifier, that is gain stage. Then the next is a push-pull amplifier. This is the basic internal arrangement of an op-amp. Op-amp input modes, that is input signal modes. Differential mode. In the differential mode, either one signal is applied to the input with the other input grounded, or two opposite polarity signals are applied to the input. Differential mode means either one signal is applied to the input and other is grounded. See here, one signal is applied to inverting and non-inverting terminal is grounded. In this case, the signal is applied to non-inverting and inverting terminal is grounded. In this case, where the signal voltage is applied to the inverting input, as in the first figure, a inverted amplified signal voltage appears at the output. So inverted amplified signal voltage will appear in the output. Where the signal is applied to the non-inverting input with the inverting input grounded, non-inverted amplified signal voltage will appear at the output. In case of double-ended differential mode, two opposite polarity out of phase signals are applied to the input. See here we can see two opposite polarities or out of phase signals are applied to the input. The amplified difference between the two input appears on the output. So amplified difference of these two signals will appear across the output. In the common mode, two signal voltages of the same phase, frequency and amplitude are applied to two inputs. That is, in common mode, the same signal, that is having same frequency, same amplitude and phase, are applied to both the terminals. When equal voltage input signal are applied to both inputs, they tend to cancel, resulting in a zero output voltage. So when both the signals are same, exactly same, then the output will be zero. This action is called CMRR. Its importance lies in the situation where an unwanted signal appear commonly on both op-amp inputs. That is, common mode rejection ratio means that unwanted signal will not appear on the output and distort the desired signal. Common mode signal generally, or noise we say, generally are the result of the pickup of radiated energy on the output lines. Some of the parameter in that common mode rejection ratio. Desired signal can appear on only one input or with opposite polarities on both the input. These desired signal are amplified and appear on the output. Unwanted signals appearing with the same polarity on both input lines are essentially cancelled by the op-amp and do not appear at the output. The measure of the amplifier's ability to reject common mode signal is a parameter called common mode rejection ratio. CMRR is a figure of merit of op-amp. The higher the ratio, the better is the matching between two input terminals, and smaller is the output common mode voltage. In this case, where the signal voltage is applied to the inverting input, as in the first figure, a inverted amplified signal voltage appears at the output. So inverted amplified signal voltage will appear in the output. Where the signal is applied to the non-inverting input with the inverting input grounded, non-inverted amplified signal voltage will appear at the output. A problem related to that, a certain op-amp has an open loop differential voltage gain of 10 raised to 5 and a common mode gain of 0.2. Determine the CMRR and express it in dB. So AOL 10 raised to 5 and ACM it is 0.2. So CMRR equal to 10 raised to 5 divided by 0.2, that is 5 into 10 raised to 5. So to find it in dB, we have to find the log, that is CMRR equal to 20 log 5 into 10 raised to 5, which is 114 dB. Open loop gain, AOL. AOL of op-amp is the internal voltage gain of the device and represents the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage when there are no external components. That it is the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage when there is no external components. The open loop voltage gain is set entirely by the internal design. Open loop voltage can range up to 20 into 10 raised to 5, that is 106 dB. Input offset voltage. The ideal op-amp produces 0 volts out for 0 volts in. In practical op-amp, however, a small DC voltage V out appears at the output when no differential input voltage is applied. Its primary cause is a slight mismatch of base emitter voltage of a differential amplifier at the input stage of the op-amp. So this input offset voltage, it is mainly due to the mismatch between the base emitter voltage of the input side of the input side amplifier, that is differential amplifier. Because of that, a small voltage appears, that is input offset voltage. Input bias current. The input terminals of bipolar differential amplifier are transistor bases, and therefore the input currents are base current. The input bias current is the DC current required by the input of the amplifier to properly operate the first stage. So by definition, we can say that input bias current is the average of both the input currents and is calculated as I bias equal to I1 plus I2 divided by 2. And we can see that this is the I1 and this is the I2. So I input bias current is the average of both the currents. Input impedance. Differential input impedance is the total resistance between the inverting and non-inverting inputs. That is, differential input resistance means it is the total resistance between inverting and non-inverting inputs. Differential impedance is the measure of determining the change in bias current for a given change in differential input voltage. Change in bias current for given change in differential input voltage. Common mode input resistance is the resistance between each input and ground and is the measured by determining the change in bias current for a given change in common mode input voltage. Differential input impedance, here we can see in this figure, that is Zin of the common mode input impedance. So here we can see that Zin of common mode. Input offset current, it is the difference between the currents into the inverting and non-inverting terminal. That is, two input bias currents are equal. Ideally, two bias currents are equal, and thus their difference is 0. In practical op-amp, however, the bias current are not exactly equal. That is, ideally we say that the both bias currents are equal and the output will be 0. But in practical case, it will not be equal. The input offset current IOS is the difference of the input bias current expressed as an absolute value. Here we can see that IOS equal to mod I1 minus I2. That is, it is expressed in the as an absolute value. So here we can see that VB1 to the non-inverting terminal and VB2 to the inverting terminal, and I1 is the current flowing through non-inverting and I2 through inverting. Offset voltage developed by the input offset current is given by VOS, is the offset voltage developed by the input offset current. So I can say that the current I into Rn, I1 into Rn minus I2 into Rn, that will be, so I can write I1 minus I2 into Rn. Rn is common, that is input resistance. So I can write VOS equal to IOS into Rn. The error created by IOS is amplified by the gain AV of the op-amp and appears in the output as V out of error, that is AV into IOS Rn, that will be the V out error. Output impedance. Output impedance is the resistance viewed from the output terminal of the op-amp. In the figure we can see that it is notated as Z out. So what is an operational amplifier? So operational amplifier, they are called as one of the basic building block of analog electronic circuits, and it is a linear device that have all the properties required for near. See, we can see that this is the test circuit and step input voltage and resulting output. So step input voltage is given, so this will be the resulting output. Slew rate, it is defined as, we can find it as, that is delta V out by delta T, where delta V out equal to plus V max, this one, minus V max. Delta V out is the value, means plus V max minus V max. The unit of slew rate is volts per microsecond. Because of some internal capacitance, an op-amp cannot respond instantly to change in the input voltage. There is a limit to the rate at which the capacitor will charge, so the rate of change of output voltage is also limited. The limitation is expressed in terms of slew rate, which is defined as the maximum rate of change of output voltage per unit time under large signal condition. Ideal versus practical op amp. So we can see some of the parameters like open loop gain. It should be ideally it should be infinite, and in practical case it is 10 raised to 5. Bandwidth, it should be infinite in ideal, and in practical case it is 10 to 100 hertz. Input impedance, it should be infinite, and it is greater than 1 mega ohm in the practical case. Output impedance, it should be 0, and the value is 10 to 100 ohm. Output voltage depends only on Vd equal to V plus minus V minus, the differential mode signal. In case of ideal, depends slightly on average input, that is Vc equal to V plus V minus divided by 2, that is a common mode signal. Then CMRR, it should be infinite, it will be in practical 10 to 100 dB. Please refer my blog Explore Electronics for the PPTs or notes, and do subscribe the channel, press bell icon. The path for this path is given here. Path for the blog is given shown here. Thank you.